Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And first, tell me the audio, video, and the screen sharing. Everything is right for everyone. Okay, done. So I suppose that you people must be doing the practice from the study material, the PDF books which you have received from the head office of Shastra, and you must have started practicing the online test also, right? So practice book will help you to develop the concepts or the logic, and the online test will help you to manage the time limit, because for these examination we have to focus on both the things. That is, first is the logic, how we are solving the questions, the concepts, and how fast we are solving the questions, right? So my suggestion for everyone is to please keep studying the books, revising the concepts, and then attempting the test on the online portal of EduShastra. Right. Okay. So continuing with this concept, ratio and proportion, I suppose you can recall in the previous session we have is done and we have discussed the concept of ratio. How will I define the ratio? Ratios are the comparison of numbers which are of similar units, right? And ratios are unitless quantities, right? And ratios are represented in the simplest form of the numbers. Okay, so these are the some points which are defining the term ratio. So now moving further, I just scroll down this. So this is the ratio and proportion, right? And then the definition, comparison among the numbers. So maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever can be the count. Then there are some points which are there in the ratios, right? Then the ratio formula. So there is nothing like a ratios are represented in the form of A by B. So numerator is called as antecedent and denominator is called as consequent. Different types of ratios, right? Compounded, duplicate, reciprocal. Okay. And then comparing the ratio. So we have done some example, and we have discussed some methods for calculating the ratios. That is, one is a LCM method. Then I discussed one is a arrow method. So using an arrow and calculating the values, right? So all these were discussed, right? How to find the ratios, comparing which one is greater, which one is smaller. Okay. So these are the some different questions, right? So now we are just moving uh, with this, right? Starting up with this question. So quickly, just tell me the answer for this. So just taking a quick recap, whatever we have discussed in the previous session for ratios. So then we move to the proportion, right? So I want everyone to just quickly give me some answers. Option. Yes. 5 cups of equal capacity contain water in the ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 5 is to 6. If total water in these cups equal 40% of their total capacity, how many of the cups are at least half filled? Out of the 5 cups, how many of the cups are at least half filled? That is half or more than half. Yes, and I suggest everyone to please attempt the question, or you can unmute yourself to discuss your logic, right? To discuss your answer. So rather than typing in the message window, I suggest to please unmute yourself and give me your answer so that everyone can listen and they can also suggest some points. Okay, Hardik, okay. So Hardik, you mean to say, is this the option or is this the number of cups? Okay, okay, Hardik. Okay, okay. There is some name as H. Okay, okay, yes, okay. So I suggest everyone to please attempt to try, right? Until and unless you do not do yourself, there is a little difficulty in understanding the question, right? So when you go in the examination, attempt the test, so it might be a possibility that you may not get the proper logic. Okay, so there is a sum name coming as H. So can you unmute yourself and can you just elaborate your complete name? Hello. Okay, Himank. Okay, so Himank, can you unmute yourself? Is this possible for you? Okay, okay. So Himank is not able to unmute. Okay. Uh, okay, yes, okay. So, okay, yes. Tell me.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, we have the old ratio like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is equal to 40%, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if we add the whole number, then we will get 20. 20 is the 40%. Then how much is 100%? 100% is 50. Then
Mm-hmm.
each of cup have 10, 10, 10, 10, right? But
Mm-hmm.
so here two cups, 5 and 6 has more than 5, means more than half. So we can say that 2 is the right answer, maybe.
Okay, okay, okay. And okay, so Siddhi, can you unmute yourself, Siddhi?
Hello.
Hello, yes, Siddhi. So, what is the correct answer?
According to me, the answer should be 2.
Two means option two or the number
C,
of
C,
cups two?
option C.
Okay, option C. Okay, right. Okay, yeah. So, how is this?
I actually assumed the capacities of the container to be 100 each. So total
Mm-hmm.
capacity turns out to be 500.
Mm-hmm.
40% 500 is 200. So 20x equals 200. X comes out to be 10. And then at least half are 2 cups.
Okay.
I've decided.
So, yes, yes, yes. So, this says, see, in this, right, we have to read the words a little carefully. This is 5 cups of equal capacity. So, all the cups are having a same volume. In the ratio of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I can see the total water in respective cup is say 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, and 6x, right? So if I combine all these 5 cups, so adding all these figures, right? So this total is coming out to be how much? 20x, right? And this is if the total water in these cups. So how much is the total water? That is 20x is equal to 40% of their total capacity, right? So this 20% is of the total capacity. So I can write this as what? 40% of some C. C is what? Total capacity, right? I am taking this in a capital letter. Should be equal to how much? 20x, right? So this is my equation. So from here, I can calculate C. So how much is a C? How much is a C? That is coming out to be 50x, right? And now this, what is the total capacity of all the 5 cups? And this is equal capacity. So if I want to calculate the capacity of 1 cup, so capacity of 1 cup, right? This is what? 50x divided by 5. That is what? 10x. So every cup is having a volume of 10x. That is a total volume, right? And now what I want? At least half filled. So if I assume the total volume may be say 10 liter, so cup should be 5 liter filled or greater than 5 liter, right, Hardik? Yes, yes, yes. So in this, the second last cup and the last cup, these are the two at least half filled. So my answer should be what? That is the third option. Out of the total 5 cups, 2 cups are at least half filled. Right? Got this? So this way we can get the answer for this particular question. Okay. Now moving further. Okay. Yes. So now coming to the proportion. So normally we use these term ratio and proportion interchangeably, but yes, because the terms are different, so the meaning is also different, right? So ratios we have already defined. What is proportion? Proportion is what? That is a equality of ratios. Proportion is what? Equality of ratios, right? So this is defined that the two given ratios are equivalent. Okay. So how can I say this? That is, suppose if there is a 1 ratio A by B, right? And other is C by B. So if these two are equal, right? I can say the ratios are in proportion, right? So if I say 1 ratio is 1 by 2. So taking a 2 times of this, 2 by 4 is what? In a proportion. Taking a 3 times of this, that is a 3 by 6 is in proportion, right? So equality of two ratios is called as what? Proportion, right? So now defining this, okay. Now, so if we are taking a say some ratios, okay? Just take this example. Say ratios are taken as A by B and C by, and I say these two are in proportion. So this is called as what? First proportion. This is second proportion. This is third proportion. And this is fourth proportion, right? Because there are 4 terms. And I can write this in a same way, that is A is to B is to C is to D, like this, right? So both the representations are same. Now in this, B and C are coming in between, so they are called as means, right? And A and D are coming at extreme, so they are called as extreme, right? So if we are calculating for the ratios, right? So this means what? That is product of means is equal to what? Product of extreme, right? So this means A into D is equal to what? B into C. And this is the property when there are 4 terms A, B, C, D, right? If there are 4 terms, so this is the property which is there for finding the proportion, right? Now, suppose if I say there are 3 terms, right? So we are talking this as what? So this is A by B is equal to what? B by C. 3 terms. No, Hardik, no, I'm coming on this point, right? Your point, I'll just discuss. So A by B is equal to B by C. So in this is a first proportion. This is the second one, right? This is also second one because the same, and this is the third one. So now there are three variable, three proportions. Okay. So in the same way, I can write this, and this is also product of means is equal to product of extreme. And if I calculate this, so this is coming out to be what? P square is equal to A into C, right? And I suppose you must have seen this expression somewhere else, right? Where? In geometric progression. If there are 3 terms which are in geometric progression, right? Yes, yes, geometric mean. So taking an example, suppose if I say 2, 4, and 8, right? These are the 3 terms which are in GP, geometric progression series. So I can say mean term, that is a 4 square is equal to what? 2 into 8, right? So if there are 3 proportion A, B, and C, then the product of means is equal to the product of extremes, right? So this is for the 4 terms A, B, C, D, right? And the bottom part is for the 3 terms. Okay. Okay. Now moving further. So classification of proportion. So classification of proportion is done in 3 ways. One is a direct proportion. The second one is a inverse or indirect proportion. And the third one is a continued proportion, right? So direct proportion. When one variable changes, see, I am using a term change, not increase or decrease, right? If one variable changes, the other will also change in the same manner, right? So if one variable is increasing, other will also increase. If one variable is decreasing, other will also decrease, right? So can anyone give me say some example for the direct proportion? If you have if you have seen somewhere, where is the direct proportion? So you can unmute yourself and you can just speak out. Where is the direct proportion?
Hi, so it could be like a silly example, but like the more trees you plant, the more oxygen will increase. So it's like directly proportional that one action can
No,
lead
no,
to the
no.
increase of something else.
So see, this particularly depend on the kind of plants, the kind of vegetation you are putting up, right? So in this particular case, if you want a more oxygen, so you should have see the plant which are giving you more oxygen. Yes, Siddhi.
Right.
Distance and time.
Okay, how is this?
If like you have to cover a longer distance, then it will take more time as compared to shorter distance. So they are directly proportional. If you're not considering the speed, I mean the speed is constant.
Yes, yes, yes. This is a one important point here. Yeah. So suppose if I take a speed, right? A speed is suppose you are taking 50 kilometer per hour, right? You fixed your speed. Now, if I say you are traveling for 1 hour, right? You will be traveling how much? 50 kilometer. Right. If you travel for 3 hours, so how much you will travel for 150 kilometer, right? So when the speed is constant, you can say time is directly proportional to the speed, more time, or sorry, distance, right? More time, more distance, less time, less distance. So this is what? This is direct proportion, right? Now, inverse proportion. So if, how will I define? In inverse proportion, if one variable changes, right, other will change in other direction or maybe inward. So if one variable increase, other will decrease. If one variable decrease, other will increase, right? So can you give me say, some example for the inverse proportion?
In the same equation, we can keep the distance constant and the speed and time becomes inversely proportional.
Right, right. So in this, if I keep a distance constant, say for example, I take a distance of okay, 100, right? I fix a distance, right? And if I keep my speed as suppose 25 kilometer per hour, right? How much time I'll take? 4 hours, right? And if I keep my speed as say 50 kilometer per hour, right? I'll take what? 2 hours. So keeping a distance constant, if I double the speed, right, from 25 to 50, I'll take half the time from 4 hours to 2 hours, right? So this is what one variable is increasing, other will decrease in the same proportion, right? Double and half, right? So same factor is there. Okay. So this way, direct and indirect. Okay. So Preeti, how is this price and sale? Hello.
Sir, I think price and sales are inverse proportion.
How?
So price is increase and sales is decrease.
Sure.
So I'm not sure.
So in this
Okay.
question, the formula could be revenue equal to price times volume. And if we keep the revenue constant, then the scenario can happen. The price is
Yes.
inversely proportional to volume.
Yeah. So see, basically, when we are giving these direct proportion, indirect proportions, so always there is say some factor which are constant, right? We keep them consider as constant. Do not change. Right, because see, if there is a some change, some other factor will also affect. So if I want to reach some conclusion, I want some result, so I need to assume that some factors are constant. They are not changing, they are stationary. Then only I can derive this कि there are something direct proportion, something inverse proportion, right? And if you are talking about the price and sale, right? So, see, depending on the product, I suppose you people can recall, say, one incident sometime back when there was, say, some, say, news that in Maggie, right? Maggie, there is, say, some harmful element, right? So, price was very low, but still, sale was not there, right? So there are some examples. So in these type of condition, I need to consider some factors which are affecting the sale or maybe the price, right? Okay, so for conversion, if bills are constant, the footfall in footfall, okay, increases, conversion will decrease. Yes, yes, yes. So if you're talking about like bills, right? There is some restaurant, there is something, right? So yes, yes, Ajna, I got this. So in a say some retail, maybe say some supermarket, grocery store, right? You can say. So if you say that there is a say some sale and they are saying that we are having a fixed price for any product, right? Will not change. So what is there? Footfall, the persons are going high, right? And you can take an example of different malls. So there are like window shopping kind of thing. more persons are coming in, right? They are just like want to have some air conditioned thing, particularly take example in summers, right? So they want to sit inside of in and enjoying the free AC, but they are not purchasing. So if I calculate in a day, how many persons are there? Maybe 1,000 persons are there, but sale is almost nil, right? So this is the kind of scenario in direct and indirect proportion. Continued proportion. So I say this is A by B, this is B by C, C by D, D by E, and so on, right? So one element is just related to the other element, right? So there are some connections among the element of the ratio, right? So this is a continued proportion. Okay. So yes, taking this example, the direct proportion, right? So direct proportion, as we have discussed, one variable is increase or decrease, other will also increase, decrease in the same proportion, right? Inverse proportion, one is increasing, other will decrease, and one is decrease, other will increase, right? Okay. Continued proportion, as I told you, so this is A, B, C, D, right? So continued proportion. Okay. So this is continued proportion, right? Okay. Properties. So I suppose you can recall these from school days. Yeah. Antecedento or addendo, subtrendo, dividendo, componendo, alternando, invertendo, right? So I suppose these are in a ninth standard, right? So taking an example, addendo. Addendo is adding the numerator and denominator, right? Subtrendo, subtracting. Dividendo, dividing. Componendo. So I told you in a previous session, maybe say when we have discussed some compound ratio, right? In a ratio. So this is the keyword, comp, right? Comp is what? Computer, component, complex, है so what is this? Assimilation of a small thing, right? So in a componendo, we are increasing the ratio, right? Right? And dividendo, we are decreasing the ratio. So this is dividendo, dividing, and componendo, increase, right? Alternando, changing the terms, invertendo, inverting the term, right? So all these ratios are there. Property. And we have discussed that these are the first, second, third proportion. So if I say this is A by B is to C by D. Then, so in this, D is what? Fourth proportion, A1, B2, C3, and D4, right? As we have all discussed this. So these are the some methods, but practically when we are solving the question, so these are more visible. Okay, so first come to see this, the difference, right? Because we are having these two different terms, so these are the two different some meanings. So ratios is used to compute the size of the two things with the same unit. Proportion is used to express the relation, right? Because proportion is what? That is a equality of two ratios. Okay. Expression with a colon sign or with a slash sign, and this is double colon or equal sign, right? Ratios as expression and proportion is a one equation. And keywords to identify ratio in the problem is to every. So this is a little important part here. How to identify ratio, and proportion is out of. So if I say out of a milk and water solution. So I want to know what is the proportion, that is what is the part of the water or maybe what is the part of milk, right? Okay. Yes. So tell me this proportion. Yes, tell me some answers, some option. Yes. Yes, some answer. Yeah, can you please repeat? Okay, Shreya is saying E option. Okay. Okay, Priya. Okay. So Shreya, so how is this option E?
So basically, I put the values there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to get it like A is 7, A is equals to 729 into e to the power 6 plus some constants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if like from there I took like since in this case e is equals to 1, I could have picked, sorry, I made a mistake. I didn't calculate the value of constant.
Okay. 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 So just check, recheck. Okay. So Rishabh. Hello, Rishabh. What's your answer, Rishabh?
So 9 is the answer.
Okay. How is this?
So I calculated, given the all the proportions, A
Mm-hmm.
is proportional to the E square.
Mm-hmm.
So when A is 1, then E is also 1. That is 1
Mm-hmm.
square is proportional to 1 square. But when
Okay.
E increases to 3,
Mm-hmm.
so A would be the square of E. That
Okay.
would be 9. 3 square would
Mm-hmm.
be 9. So A is
Mm-hmm.
9.
Okay. Okay. And okay, Shreyas. Okay. Okay. And okay. Okay. Hello, Priya. How? What is your answer?
Sir, it's 729, E option.
Okay. The same way?
Yes, sir, same way. I'm just calculating for the constant value.
Okay. Okay. Right. So see, when we are talking about say ratio and proportion, so we are using a symbol, right? And sometimes we need to say some constant variable, assuming that case some other conditions remain constant. So just go this step by step, right? First take a this first part. A varies as square of B. So this is my first. A varies, right? So this is a symbol which we are normally using for ratios or proportion. A varies is square of B. So putting up a square, this is my first equation, right? B is inversely proportional to square root of C. So B is inversely proportional to what? Square root of C. And this is my second. C is directly proportional to the cube of D. So C is directly proportional to the cube of D. Right? This is my third. And then say D is inversely proportional to the square of E. So D is what? Inversely proportional to what? Square of. So these are the four equations which I have. Now I need to combine them, and because I have a value for A and E, so I need to convert all these four equations into variable, that is A and E, right? So just go back. So D is directly proportional to the what? 1 upon E square. And what is the value of D? Here, right, in the third one. So put the value of D in the third one. So this is coming out to be what? C is what? 1 upon E square whole cube, right? Because what is the value of D? 1 upon E square. And I am replacing the value of D with 1 upon E square, calculating this, right? So you can say this is coming out to be what? 1 upon E raised power 6. Now, this is the value of C. So C is here in the second equation, right? So if I calculate here from B, so B is directly proportional to what? 1 upon what? Square root. And if I calculate this, so this is E raised to power 6, right? So can you tell me what is the value here for B? What can I write here? What is the value of B we are getting? Yeah.
So 1 by e raised to power 3.
Yeah. B is inversely proportional. Yes. Right. See, this is what 1 upon square root e raised to power 6, right? And I suppose you can recall, so if I simplify this term, that is square root e raised to power 6, so putting up the rules for indices, so square root is what? Half power, right? So this is e raised to power 6 whole raised to power 1 by then. And when I simplify this, so this is coming out to be e raised to power 3, right? So this is coming out to be my e raised to power 3. That is 1 upon e raised to power 3. Okay. So this is the value of B. And putting up B here in the first one. So what is the value of A I am getting here? So I just write it here. That is A is what? That is B, right? And B is what? 1 upon E cube whole square. So what is the value of this you are getting? Yes. What is the value of A in this expression? Yeah.
So 1 upon e the power 6.
Yes. 1 upon e power 6. Right. So finally, in this expression, we are having, I just change the color here. So we are getting A is proportional, right? So as you people are saying, okay, we can calculate a constant here. So I take A is equal to K is a some constant, and this is multiplied with 1 upon e raised by 6. This is my complete expression, right? Now A is equal to 1, E is equal to 1. Done. So putting up the value, 1 is equal to K into 1 upon 1 raised by 6. So from here, I can have the value of K. So how much is K? How much is K?
So 1.
This is 1, right? And now when you are putting up the values there, right? So K is 1. So this is if E increases to 3. So increases to 3, right? So E is becoming 3. So A you can calculate. This is K is 1 times of 1 upon 3 raised by 6. So how much is A here?
Sir, I have a doubt in one of the
Mhm.
steps that you did. Firstly, you did D is proportional to 1 upon E square.
Which one?
Like right from the beginning, the first step D is proportional to 1 upon E square.
Yeah.
Then second one, what you did is C is proportional to D cube. So that becomes 1 over E to the power 6. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But when you move to the next step, B is proportional to 1 over root C. It is 1
Mm-hmm.
over root C. So shouldn't it be B is proportional to E to the power 6?
Just a minute. Oh, yes, yes,
E
yes,
should
yes.
be in the
I
denominator.
just missed this denominator part, right? I just missed this denominator part. So here, yes, yes. What should I do? I should write is 1 upon e raised power 6 root, right? You're saying this?
Yes, sir. And the E to the power 6 will come in the
Yeah.
next step.
So this is coming out to be e raised power 6, right? And correcting on this part. So this is e raised power 6 raised power. This is 3 whole square, which is 4 e raised power 6. And yes, now calculating on this. So this is k e raised power 6, and this is 1 raised power 6. So k is coming out to be 1, and this is also what? That is 3 raised power 6. So a is coming out to be 7. And this is the last option, right? So 729 will be the answer for this one. Okay. Now, tell me this. Okay, sure. Okay. Yes. So was the answer for this? So, okay, yes, okay, okay. Okay, Hardik, okay. Okay, so this is price of a diamond varies as the square of its weight. So my equation is what? Price of a diamond varies. So this is directly varies, right? As a square of its weight. So this. If I take a say some constant here, so price is equal to K times of W square. And this is your expression. So now if a diamond is breaks into two parts whose weights are in a ratio 3:5. So part one, price one, right, is equal to what? K times of 3 square, which is 9, first part. Price two, right, this is what? K times of 5 square, which is 25. So these are the two parts individually, right, taken as individually. So these are the two parts, right. Now if I take a one complete part, done. So if I take a one complete part, so price is equal to, because diamond is one and broken in two parts. So the complete weight should be the addition of these two ratios, 3 plus 5. So price is what? 8 times of 8 square, which is 64. Done. So if I have a one intact piece, right? So price is 64K. If I have a two parts, so price is how much? That is 25 plus 9. Done. So this is K times of 34, right? That is what? P1 plus P2. Okay. I need to calculate what? Then the overall value reduces by about, right? So if initially 64K is the price of one piece and then it is broken down in two pieces, so the total value is coming out to be 34. So how much is the reduction? How much is the reduction? That is 30 on a base of what? 64 into 100. So this will be a little less than the 50%. So answer is what? Third option. Got this? Yeah. Can you move further?
So how did you calculate that? I mean, this equation very quickly, less than 50%. Can you tell us the
Okay.
approximation?
So you take this value, numerator is 30 and
Yeah.
denominator is 64, right? So if I assume this equation as to be 30 divided by 60, so
Okay.
this
Oh,
should be
yeah.
equal to
Got it.
50%,
Yes, sir.
right? And this
Yes.
is little more than 60. So this should be little less than the 50%,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you. So Nirupam. Okay. Hello Nirupam. Can you unmute yourself and tell me which step you're not able to get? Where?
Sir, whole step.
Acha, whole step. Okay. So
Yeah.
see, first read this statement, that is the price of a diamond varies as a square of its weight. So I am making this expression, right? And because this is in a proportion, so I took a K as a proportionality constant. So P is equal to K times W square, right? Now this is that there is a one piece, right? And this one piece is having a total weight, some total weight, right? And it is now broken into two parts. So one part is weighing say 3 kg, other part is weighing say 5 kg. So if this is I take in kgs, so the complete weight should be 8 kg, right? So I am putting up these 3 and 5 value for calculating an individual price of these two parts. So putting up W as 3 and W as 5. So this is first is 9k and second is 25k. So total price of two individual parts are coming to be 34k, right? And if this is a one intact diamond, so the total price should come as 64k. Okay. And now this is saying what? Overall value reduced by. So original value for the one piece is 64. Original value for the two pieces is 34. So how much is the reduction? 30 units on a basis of 64. So this is 30 by 64 into 100, which should be little less than 50%. So answer is 47%.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So partnership. Now, if you are having some understanding of the say companies, the business, etc. So there are say different type of association or the say companies. One is a private limited company, right? So in this, only one person is a owner, right? Normally the family business are there. So if I make a one company, so I took this as a private limited company, right? Then there are some firms you must have seen that say CA firms, income tax firms, etc. Right? Chartered accountant firm. So maybe like Sharma and Sharma kind of thing, right? So these are called as partnership, right? So if there is one person, other person, so they are working together and they are saying we are the partners. And the third is what? Public limited companies, right? So all these are what? Which are normally listed with the Companies Act, right? Company Secretary Organization. So these are all the big organization, the company, limited companies, right? So here we are interested only with the partnership firm where there are 2, 3, 4 members who are running the organization company, right? So in this, they decide how much profit, how much investment they put together, right? So suppose if I say there is a one partnership firm and there are two persons, A and B, right? A is putting rupees 10,000, right? And B is putting rupees 15,000, right? And after a 1 year, right? After 1 year, right? The total profit is say some like 20,000 rupees, right? So can you tell me ki in what ratio they should divide the profit? In what ratio? Okay, Hardik, okay. Okay, Shaz, okay, Yash, okay. So Shaz, why is this 2:3? Why not some other ratio?
Sir, I think it should be 2:3 because they have put their money in that particular ratio.
Okay, so we can decide the ratio only based on the money. There is no other factor to decide the ratio for profit.
Well, if we'll go into the detail, then there are situations when like when people give the equities, for example, let's say there is some CTO in those cases. So it is also possible here in A and B, and there are
Okay.
different kinds of shares. Like in some shares you can vote, you have extra say in the company, and in some shares you have less say. So based on that, it can be reduced. But in general, It is like how much, whatever amount of money I have put based on that, and it's on based on that ratio
Okay.
amount is divided.
Okay, okay. So basically in this also, because partnership, when we're talking about the ratio, right? So this is not exactly the term ratio, right? As we are using these term ratio and proportion interchangeably. So as we have discussed, okay, if there are two persons, they are putting up some money and then there is some profit and how much profit each one will get. So this is what out of a total, right? I told you this slide, no? See this fourth point, right? How to identify what is and where is ratio, where is proportion, right? So if I say there is a total profit of 20,000, so what will I ask you? Out of 20,000, how much A will get? So this is particularly what? Proportion. And in a proportion, as we have discussed that there must be something constant. We are assuming there is a something constant, right? So here, what is constant? The time duration, right? These two persons, A and B, have put in their money for exactly 1 year. So the time duration is constant. So if the time duration is constant, the profit will be divided in a ratio of investment, right? Whatever each person is investing, profit will be divided in this ratio. So here A is putting 10,000, B is putting 15,000. So the ratio of profit will be 2:3, right? So here we are taking time as constant. Okay. Other scene, other case. If I say A taking up like say 10,000, right? And B taking up 15,000. Then, but A is putting the money for 12 months, okay, and B is putting the money for 6 months. Then, now tell me, in what ratio they will divide the money? Okay, Hardik, okay, yes, okay. Yeah, waiting for others to give me some answer. In what ratio they will divide the profit? A is putting 10,000 for 12 months and B is putting 15,000 for 6 months. Okay, Shaz, okay, okay. So, hello, Yash, what can be the possible ratio for the profit?
यस सर सर पहले 2:3 में अपन बांट रहे थे इसको, राइट? अगर टाइम बढ़ गया, लाइक बी तो 6 महीने के लिए अपने पैसे रखता है और ए 12 महीने के लिए रखता है, तो बी की कंपैरिजन में ए का डबल हो गया। तो अगर बी का 3 होगा तो ए का डबल होगा ना प्रॉफिट भी, तो फिर वो 2 की जगह 4 हो जाएगा ऐसे।
Okay, okay. So, in this, what we calculate, we have monthly equivalent ratio. And what is this monthly equivalent ratio? This is price, or better word is in the investment, because we are talking about the investment. So that is investment multiplied with time. So if the time is different, right? Every person is putting up the money for a different time duration. So we will calculate this monthly equivalent ratio, and this is calculated in a way investment multiplied with time. And in this ratio, the money will be divided, the profit will be divided. And I suppose this you can understand practically when you are putting your money in SIP, systematic investment plan, right? So in this, maybe you're taking, let's say, 1,000 rupees, and you're putting this 1,000 rupees for every month. So take an example, you're putting a money for every month for 1 year, that is 12 months. Okay. So first 1,000 is invested for how many? 12 months. So you will get a profit over this for 12 months. Then second 1,000 is invested for 11 months. Third 1,000 is invested for 10 months, and so on, right? So for every 1,000, the time duration is decreasing by 1 month. So how will you get the overall profit? When your time is complete after 1 year, so the company, the investment company is calculating how much money you have invested for how much duration. And based on this, they will give you the benefit, the profit, right? So this is very practically can be understood in systematic investment plan, right? So this is what partnership. If the time is same or if the time is different. Money same or money different doesn't matter because that is not a very prominent factor to calculate the investment. Particularly the time is a prominent factor to calculate the investment and the profit share. Right? Okay. So quickly tell me this. Okay, Hardik. Okay. Okay. Okay, Shyas. Okay. Okay, Kuntal. Okay. So Kuntal, how is this your answer? The third option?
So I have taken that 16,000 investment into the time 8 months by X into 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So X is the investment amount of sham, which will be
Okay.
equals to the ratio of 5/2, which is a
Mm-hmm.
total of 7.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
calculate that X will be 12.8.
Yes, yes, yes. So this is Ram and Sham. Done. So this is Sham claims 2/7 of the profit. So if the total profit is 7 rupees, right? Total profit is 7 rupees. So Sham is saying how much profit he should have. Sham, how much profit Sham should have? 2 rupees, right? If the total profit is 7 rupees, 2/7. Okay. So if the total profit is 7 rupees, Sham should have how much? 2 rupees. So this is 2 and this is 5. This is what? Profit. Okay. So Ram is investing 16K into what? For 8 months. And Sham is investing for what? X rupees for 4 months. And this 16K into 8 should be equal to 5 and X into 4 should be equal to 2, right? So calculating, simplifying, we are getting a third option. That is 12.8. Right? Getting this? So I suggest everyone to just revise the whole concept, ratio, proportion, partnership with the help of the book which you have received from the head office of Shastra. First do the practice exercise from the book and then move on the online portal of Shastra to attempt the test, section test based on the ratio, proportion and partnership. Right? And in the next week, we will be moving on other chapter, next topic. Okay? Right? Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Good night. Good night.